hosted by four guys who've never been on the turf. Finally get to say it. My name is Arjun Ryan.
I'm Kamil and Danny.
And I'm Ron Patel.
Ron, you're supposed to... did you want the and? Is that what you
No, I want the and.
He wanted it.
Yeah.
He wanted it.
We talked. I want the and.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and just because we wanted an odd number, we also brought Graeme back on the show, our resident 49ers fan, because the 49ers are back in the divisional round. And last year you came on before the NFC Championship, and we know how that went. So expect the Jordan Love and the Packers to get a win this weekend. But anyway, before we move on to the Niners, let's talk about the wild card round. We had a lot of surprising results, starting with and not limited to Kamil. Your Bills have advanced to the divisional round. We'll be talking about their matchup against the Chiefs a little bit later, beating Shree and my Steelers. Any thoughts, Shree, you'd like to talk about with regards to that game?
Not much. I like to say that well deserved for the Bills. I'm glad that at one point it was a one-score game. Like, I did not expect that at all. So the fact that we got to one score, I think, is amazing. I think Mason Rudolph needs to be re-signed, or else I think that he needs to be protected, and I think he's gonna go and find an opportunity elsewhere. And yeah, congrats to the Bills. It's not like, it was nothing new for us. So, congrats to the Bills. It's whatever. It's not like you bait an amazing team, but it's okay. Yeah, good luck to you guys against the Chiefs. That's all I'm going to say.
That was the most depressing recap.
It was the saltiest congrats.
That was the most backhanded thing I've ever heard. But as well, we saw the Cowboys and the Eagles competing to see who could have the most embarrassing loss of Wild Card Weekend.
What a treat.
The Cowboys getting blown out by the 49ers, opponent this weekend, the Green Bay Packers, and the Eagles, who got blown out against the Buccaneers, which all of us kind of predicted would happen. Graeme, as a big Nick Sirianni fan, are you happy to see what happened in Philadelphia this weekend?
Super happy. I hate the Eagles so much. I hope the entire coaching staff gets fired. I hope A.J. Brown leaves the team. I hope everything. I just hope they all fail. Yes. Go Bucs.
Promising and optimistic thoughts about Philadelphia. Rohan, you were on Philadelphia's train all year. What's your post-mortem on the season for them?
I don't know, man. I mean, they looked like a good team for a bit. They looked like a very competitive team. And then the wheels just fell off. And the wheels fell off again in that last game as well. I've never seen a team tackle worse. I've never seen a team play with less urgency.
Fire in their gut. You could say that.
No, yeah, not enough fire in their gut.
Yeah.
When Jonathan Gannon left, he took the fire in their gut with him. And their offense, I've never seen such a schemeless offense before either. Such a lazy offense in the way that the plays are designed. It was the game was indicative of how the last half of that season went for the Eagles. I thought they could pull it together for a playoff game, but they couldn't. And I don't think a coaching change is going to happen. I think it's necessary, though, or at the very least, an offensive coordinator change. But we'll see if that occurs.
Kamil, anything?
Yeah. I just want to say I don't know why I ever believed in Nick Sirianni to the extent that I did. I was on here straight up a few weeks ago saying he was like the best coach in the NFC. Good God, what a clown I am. But, yeah, they suck. There's like you said, there's just no fire in their guts. Frat boy Sirianni can't even coach a Pee-wee team at this point. He's completely lost his guys. I don't know how they keep him. I don't expect the Eagles to keep him because I know that they're an organization that does value, holding their coaches up to a standard. And once you just lose the locker room completely like this, and you're having coordinators and coordinating decisions like elevating Matt Patricia late in the season, I think it's inexcusable to keep a guy like that on.
Yeah, I think all of us, at least I can say for myself, I'm hoping Nick Sirianni gets fired. But I also, just because I'm not a big fan of the Eagles, I wouldn't mind if they kept him. keep the skid going. Why not? Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, the Dallas Cowboys are keeping Mike McCarthy. We're not going to dive into this too much because I expect when we get Hoj on for our yearly Pro Bowl Spectacular, we'll be diving into a whole thing about the Cowboys and Mike McCarthy once again. Because I think we've been talking about Mike McCarthy getting fired for 2 years, almost 3 years now. So we'll get into that when that time comes. But let's get on to the divisional round. 8 teams are left in the tournament to see who will be in Super Bowl 58. Let's start with the first game of the divisional round. The Houston Texans blew out the Cleveland Browns. My God, Kamil said what a clown he was for picking or for thinking Nick Sirianni was good. What a clown I am for thinking the Browns could win a playoff game against C.J. Stroud, who, in my opinion, we can talk about this on this when we talk about this game, but in my opinion, is a top 5 quarterback right now. C.J. Stroud is playing absolutely insane. This defense played really well against a pretty good Browns offense with Joe Flacco, and they're heading to Baltimore to take on the best team in the league right now. Baltimore is favored by 9.5 points in this matchup, which I think is quite a hefty line for a Houston team that's playing really well. Graeme, what are your first thoughts on this game with C.J. Stroud heading to Baltimore?
I would agree with you. I think it's a crazy line. 9.5 for a team that just seems so on the money right now is insane. I wish the Texans the best of luck. I think they probably have just as good as a chance as the Chiefs and Bills to beating the Ravens in the AFC. I hope they do it. I really do.
Go Houston. Shree?
I remember initially in the season we were talking about how historic this Browns defense was. I think it was in 50 years or something. I remember talking about it, and the fact that C.J. Stroud and the Texans, and this is with just Nico Collins. There's not that many weapons on the field either, but C.J. Stroud just managed to find a way to win. Now, I think I'm the biggest clown here for thinking that the Browns and the Rams are going to make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, what was that, Shree?
I'm not sure that you're thinking
What a
that one.
prediction.
Listen, I really thought I had something there, but
The Browns in the Super Bowl?
Hey,
Arjun, you had the Browns in the conference championship originally. Don't
Okay, and I changed
don't
it,
act
I
like it
guess,
was.
'cause when confronted with new information, I changed my prediction.
He's a flip flopper, isn't he?
There we
He's
go.
a flip
There
flopper.
it is.
We're
He
just
just.
saying people who change their
Wow.
opinions at this point. I'm supposed to be held to the same opinion.
I'm just saying you change your opinions a lot. You change your opinions a lot.
All right, let's.
You don't
this
speak with
is
any
about clowning
conviction.
on Shree. Let's
You don't
not
speak
turn
with
this
any
on-
conviction.
Let's not turn this.
At least Shree had some conviction
Yeah,
in his
thank-
original predictions.
thank
Yeah,
you,
and he
Shree.
was convicted of being wrong.
I'd rather have that than have a weak-minded person such as yourself.
Bill
anyways.
Snyder's is still alive, baby. Shree, continue, please.
So yeah, but I think the Texans can be competitive against the Ravens. I honestly now after we've seen it all, I think no one can underestimate C.J. Stroud and definitely his connection with Nico Collins. I don't care how good of a secondary you have; they'll find a way to put the ball in the end zone. So I think a 9-point line is a little aggressive, but I think it'll be closer than we think.
I don't know. I mean, this as a Lamar fan, as someone who's rooting for the Ravens right now, this game does scare me a little bit as sort of a trap game, especially with the way that C.J. Stroud's been playing. But let's not forget this Ravens team has been out of this world. This Texans offense is still very one-dimensional. They're very reliant on C.J. Stroud, Nico Collins, Dalton Schultz to get the game going through the passing attack. And this Ravens team is an all-around good defense with an extraordinary secondary and extraordinary linebackers. I think they're going to put pressure on C.J. Stroud. I think they're going to make life difficult for him. I've yet for C.J. Stroud to look like I've yet to see C.J. Stroud really look like a rookie. I don't think he'll look like a rookie against this Ravens team, but they'll come awfully close to making him look like one. They'll make him uncomfortable. I think the defense is just too much, and the Texans. On the other hand, the Texans defense, they're good. They showed that very clearly against the Browns, but Lamar's been playing out of this world too. I just think there's too much going for the Ravens right now. I'll take the spread. I'll say 30-20 Ravens win, but that's not to say the Texans won't put up a fight here.
Yeah, listen, this whole year I've been saying that C.J. Stroud is not a rookie in my eyes. He doesn't play like one. He never really has rookie moments. But I think the issue that we run into here with the Texans is just the lack of playoff experience. You're going up against Lamar and the Ravens and Harbaugh, who haven't had deep runs, at least during the Lamar era, but they still have that experience, and that is important to have. And on top of them just being the better team, I think they eke this one out. I think it's going to be a game kind of reminiscent of that Chiefs-Patriots game a while back in Mahomes' breakout year, where the younger up and coming quarterback is going to have a great game, but just isn't going to have that experience to push him over the top yet. And we're going to look back at it in a few years as one of those classic early career games for that type of guy like Stroud. So yeah, I'm predicting a close back and forth game between the Ravens and Texans here. I'll take the Ravens.
Okay, well, Kamil, I'm not sure how I feel about the comparison of comparing at that time 5-time Super Bowl champion Tom Brady to Lamar Jackson, who's won a total of one.
Not quite what I was saying, but
but whatever. Me, Graham, and Tree will do our game picks as well. I think Lamar and the Ravens are going to face a test here, but they're going to beat the allegations of being chokers in the playoffs. I think the Ravens defense wins this one for them. I'm going to say they gut it out 23-20. Graham?
I think I have the Ravens by 6.
Ravens by 6. All right, Tree?
The Ravens winning 27-20.
All right, awesome. Let's move on to why we brought Graham onto this podcast today. The Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love. I just want you guys to know, for all the shit you give me about not having conviction in my opinions, I had Jordan Love and this team getting into the playoffs at the beginning of the season, and I'm very happy to see that he has now done it. He has proven that he is the heir apparent to Aaron Rodgers, and I don't know, maybe he could exceed him. Who knows? He certainly looked like it in his playoff debut, dicing up the Cowboys with a nearly perfect passer rating, 3 touchdowns, basically the same stat line as CJ Stroud, interestingly.
He did say that.
Excuse me?
Were you not saying mid-year that Jordan Love sucked?
Yeah, you were saying Jordan Love's not everything that I thought he was going to be.
Yeah.
No, I said I could have been wrong about Jordan Love.
Oh my God, bro! So many
This is
qualifiers.
actually the most insane
I said I could have been wrong
yap
about
I've
him.
ever
Turns
seen.
out, what could?
Whatever.
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay.
Keep going.
I don't want to
I
hear
think
your
I'm allowed
bullshit
to-
anymore.
No point in litigating this.
Yeah, I'm actually-
Opinions? Wait, Rohan.
I'm not allowed to evaluate my opinions.
All right, whatever. But let's move on to the game itself. Packers at Niners. Graham, your initial thoughts going into this matchup will be at Santa Clara. How do you feel about this matchup? Obviously, the Packers and Niners have met a number of times in the past couple of years.
Yes, we have. I think a certain team has dominated those past matchups since the glorified days of Colin Kaepernick. But I think to start, it's a fair spread. It opened at 10. It's now 9.5. I expect the Niners to cover this with ease. I think if we don't win by this margin, we possibly don't deserve to be there. And the remainder of our postseason stretch could be in question if we don't win by this margin. I'm surprised that everyone was so shocked that the Cowboys got exposed. They were not that great of a team. I'll give Jordan Love the benefit of the doubt. He looked good. I like our coaching staff better. I like my QB better. I like our defense better. I think it should be an easy game.
Yeah, I'll hop off of that because I actually have a very similar sentiment. If I'm a Niners fan, I'm not really worried. I think this has been a team that's shown clearly throughout the entire year that they're superior. They do it in every facet of the game. They play everything well. Their secondary at times has been a little bit suspect, and maybe it's a cause for concern. Say Jordan Love could have his way there, but they're going to let Aaron Jones do what he did against the Cowboys. I think the Niners fans should feel pretty safe. I mean, they've owned the Packers these past few years. I see no reason to see why that would change at this time when the Niners are the best team in the NFC and the Packers were the 7th seed. I think Niners cover easily. I'll say 30-17.
You know, it's very tempting to take the same stance, and I will take the same stance. But I don't want us all to think that the possibility of a Packers upset here is completely out of the picture. You know, a lot of people are predicting the same thing against the Cowboys. But it's not to speak against the Niners and the quality of their team, Graham. I think you guys are great. I have you guys going to the Super Bowl. But I just think this Packers team... Yeah, I do. I just think this Packers team is very young. Nothing to play for, really. Nothing to lose. They've already far and beyond exceeded their expectations. Jordan Love looks like their franchise quarterback for years to come. Um, and I just don't see why they can't go out and put a close competitive game. Um, Now, with that all being said, I still think the Niners are just too high quality of an opponent for them to really keep it close. I think this is this is going to be a good learning game for Jordan Love and LaFleur in this situation, in this scenario. And yeah, Shanahan just knows how to whip LaFleur, and I think that's going to continue here.
Trey?
Yeah, for me, I think it's just that the 49ers put up points just so quick on the board with Christian McCaffrey, like, from the start. Like, I just think that, like, for the Packers, it's just not going to be like they played against the Cowboys. Like, the Cowboys had, like, a terrible first half. I think the 49ers are just going to be, like, right out of the start, just putting up points on the board. I like to be optimistic about the Packers. That's a lie. I would never be optimistic about the Packers. I just think that, like, I just think the 49ers are a high quality team. I do think that, like, this team has a better chance than, like, other teams in the past. And I feel like I remember the last time that they played, like, the 49ers just kept running the ball over and over again. They don't need to do that anymore. I think Brock Purdy is a really great quarterback. I think that they have the weapons all over the board. I think this game will be 30-20 for the 49ers.
Yeah, as much as I'd like to say I think the Packers are going to win this game, I think this is San Francisco's game to win. I think the key is, for me, is that, we all thought, oh, Joe Barry knows what he's doing because he got out to a 27-0 lead and locked up that Cowboys offense in the first half. No. Let's not forget Joe Barry let up nearly 30 points to both Tommy DeVito and Bryce Young in successive weeks just a month ago. This defense doesn't change that quick. And I think the best play caller in the game, Kyle Shanahan, is going to come out with a game script. He probably knows exactly what to attack in this defense. I think they're going to come out firing. I think Jordan Love and the Packers, they've been a good second-half team all year long. I think they'll eventually claw back into this game, possibly even cover the spread. But I think the Niners are going to be in control pretty much the whole game. And if they aren't, I agree. Style points aren't much in the NFL, but the Niners should win this game. They should win comfortably. But I'll say the Niners win, let's say 30-22 or 23 rather. Packers cover eventually, but I think the Niners will be in control the entire game. Now, Graeme, last year we did this as well.
That's right.
I'd like to give you the floor to address Niner Nation. I think your speech really didn't do much last year, but hopefully this year it can. So I'm just going to move back here.
I was not expecting this. I thought it was banned from speaking one-on-one.
Right in there.
All right, cool. So, address Niner Nation. Cool. First, I'm going to give my score prediction. I think
you already did.
No, I
Okay.
didn't. I think 38-17 Niners. I think Kittle has a big game.
That's a lot of points.
I think in some hypothetical dystopia, if we were to lose this game by a close margin, it'd be our own faults. We would never lose to the Packers directly. We'd probably lose to ourselves.
You would also lose to the Packers.
That being said, I was in this position last year. We fell short in the NFC Championship. There's one person to blame for that. It's Hassan Reddick. Hope his rest of career is awful. And screw the Eagles. Screw Philadelphia. I'm not a fan of the city. The city kind of sucks.
That's kind of hurtful to her.
Trash.
But addressing Niner Nation, we know where we are. We've been here before. Okay? We need 3 more wins, and then the last 5 seasons can finally have been put to good use. All right? We're all tired of one thing. We're all tired of making it this far, making it through the entire NFL season, ups and downs. We're tired of falling short. All right?
Tell 'em.
Kittle said it best when he was mic'd up against the Chiefs in that rigged game when he said, "I will be back." Okay?
Yeah.
We are going to be back. It all starts this Saturday, 8 Eastern time against the Packers. And I just want all of Niner Nation, the real ones out there, not the bandwagons. I know there are a bunch of them this season. a bunch. All right. I want them to think deeply and closely at what we've been through the last, say, 8-7 seasons. All right. And I want us to all be grateful for where we are today. Normally, I'd go on a very aggressive rant, as I may have done in the past.
Please do. Please do.
I'm not going to.
No, can you?
Do it.
Can you?
No.
Come on.
Come on.
Let the passion out.
Think about that game, Graham, when you were a child and you saw Colin Kaepernick get blown out by the Cardinals when they came in.
It's 47-7.
Exactly. Think about that game. Channel your aggression.
I mean, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy the Niners are the 1 seed. We deserve it. I'm not worried about the Packers. Not worried about the Bucs. I'm pretty sure we destroyed them earlier this season. Don't even remember. We destroyed a lot of people. Lions could be a fun game. Jimmy G beat that practically same team like 2 seasons
ago. It was not
ago.
Practically the same team. That team went 3-13-1.
Teams don't change that much, right?
They almost inverted the record.
They won the division.
Not worried about it. But I want everyone to think back to where we're coming from. Chip Kelly, Jim Tom Sula, 2-14, 4-12, 6-10. Losing in the when did we lose to the Rams? Was that wasn't an NFC Championship, was it? Was it NFC Championship?
That was the NFC Championship.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yep.
May he rest in peace.
He's alive.
Is he?
I just hope all of the nation realizes where we are and the opportunity that lies in front of us. And I'm a changed man. No more aggressive rants unless you live in Philadelphia. I'm sorry. Get help soon.
Thank you. That was very eloquent.
Thank you.
That was deep, Graham. I could feel you. You know, I think I told you once that this is the most passionate I've ever seen you, but this time it wasn't outward, but I could feel it,
Yeah.
Graham.
The emotion is coursing through you.
I've been
Changing my
on
Super
fighting
Bowl
my
pick to the
tongue.
Niners.
You've been through a lot, I can tell.
I really hope that the Niners win this weekend, because if not, one could say that Graham's addresses to Niner Nations could be the kiss of death for this team. So, but anyway, on that note, let's move on to probably the game with the least amount of storylines this weekend, but should be an interesting game nonetheless. Baker Mayfield, still baking. He's baking a full bakery. And
Careful.
He's heading to Detroit to face a Lions team that gutted out a close win against the Rams. I'm sure you're glad that the Rams are no longer in the playoffs.
Wasn't worried about it.
You said before the show you were. But but the Detroit Lions at Ford Field once again. I'm sure they weren't expecting that, but thankful to Dallas that they get another home game. I'll be quick here. I think Detroit's going to control this game. I think if any game has a chance to get really out of hand this week, it's this one. I think Detroit's going to come in there with a lot of passion. I think the Bucs are a great story. They just faced the worst team in the league. And I'm not joking. I think Philadelphia was legitimately the 32nd best team in the league by the time we were in wildcard weekend. Because Bryce Young and the Panthers did better against that Bucs team in Week 18. But,
Also lost to the Giants and Cardinals.
Exactly. So the Eagles were pretty bad. So let's not get twisted. The Bucs are a great story. Baker Mayfield has proven that he's a good quarterback. But it ends here. Detroit wins, I'll say 31-20.
Cool. Yeah, 31-20. I don't know if I agree that this is going to be the game that gets out of hand. I could see it going that way. I think Bucs have a decent offense if they actually are able to be fluid and work together. I love Rashad White. Maybe Mike Evans can work out his arthritis and actually do something for once. That'd be great.
He's kind of been doing things all season.
No,
Yeah, I was gonna
say-
4 games.
Random Mike Evans disrespect.
You wouldn't know because you didn't
Also
pay
on
attention to
Prize
fantasy
Picks, he's
football,
lost a lot of
Graham.
money. So shout out Prize Picks. You guys are
We're not sponsored. We're not sponsored. Prize Picks sponsor us. That'd be great.
But I'm an official Rams hater. It's Jared Goff. Let's not get out of hand here. All right.
He's on the Lions now.
But again,
Just that
I
shit.
don't think this game is going to be
So
that
funny.
crazy. I probably do have Detroit winning, but I would say they win by 4.
Okay.
Thanks, Graham.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm so happy for Baker Mayfield. Like even like this last game, I know it's the Eagles, but like a lot of the incompletions that he had were just drop passes, and I just got to shout out Baker Mayfield. Like, as like a Steelers fan, like when he was on the Browns, like as much as we hated the Browns, we liked Baker.
Agreed.
Like we loved those progressive
loved Baker.
commercials.
Loved
We
Baker.
loved Baker. So like to see him have the success, like we're so happy for him.
One could
I
say we
hate
would
that
like him to
it's-
be the Steelers quarterback.
Oh, that
Yeah.
would be cool.
Wouldn't
as
you
well,
like just about anyone to be the Steelers quarterback, Arjun?
Yes, but
Yes.
Baker
Okay.
Mayfield.
Yes.
I
Same
can
Justin
root for that
Fields,
guy.
bro.
Jimmy G.
We
No,
yeah.
thank you. No,
But
thank you. I don't want
Jimmy
Jimmy
G.
G.
no, Jimmy.
Shree's still on Mason Rudolph.
I'd rather. Yeah, Jimmy G is the exception. I would take both Mason and Kenny over Jimmy G right now.
That's a professional guy.
Do you guys really like Mason Rudolph that much?
I like him better than Jimmy G.
Yeah, me too, honestly.
Anyway, sorry, Shree. Continue. You're happy for
Yeah,
Baker.
but happy for Baker, but I'm gonna take the Lions here. I'll probably 31-20.
Okay, stole my score. Kamil?
Yeah, listen, Lions they're gonna come out with a great game plan when Johnson's one of the best offense coordinators out there. I think they're gonna be able to move the ball at will, and they're gonna score pretty much whenever they want. But I don't necessarily think that'll translate to a blowout because Baker Mayfield, he's good, man. He's really good. He showed up in that game, and I think Baker has that tendency to show up in those big games, especially in ones where people are counting him out to an extent. And I think that this next game is going to be another great example of that. I think he's going to keep hitting those tight passes, pretty much working as good as he can. I don't think it'll be enough to overcome the Lions. I think the Lions are just simply the better overall team and the better coach team. And yeah, just give me the Lions here. I forget what score I put, so whatever. Just Lions by however much keeps it a close game.
I don't know, man.
Graham out.
I don't know, man. This Bucs team looks good. So first off, all right, this Bucs defense. You said they're gonna move the ball at will. I don't think they're going to. This Bucs defense, they're fourth overall in opponents' rush yards per game, sixth overall in opponents' yards per rush. This is a Detroit team that likes to base their offense off the run. They establish the run and build off of that. DeAndre Swift, Jahmyr Gibbs, they're extremely important to getting this offense going.
Whoa.
Whoa. David Montgomery. I went back a year.
Does not know ball.
I don't know ball. I went back a year. That's my bad. David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, they're the engine of this offense. I think Vita Vea and this Bucs defensive line can really put a halt to that run game and force Jared Goff to make big plays. Now, granted, this Bucs secondary they aren't world beaters, but I think if you put the ball in Jared Goff's hands, make him be the one to beat you, that's a good path to victory for a Lions team that likes to run the ball, and their offense is really, really based on how well they run the ball. On the other end of the ball, Lions have a really good run defense. Guess what? That doesn't matter for the Bucs. They don't run the ball anyways. They don't like running the ball. It's not what they do. But this Bucs offense, Baker Mayfield has looked really, really great. He looked great last week. The one thing that they struggle with is turning field goals into touchdowns in the red zone. I think that with the secondary we're talking about, I think Mike Evans can hopefully fix that this time around for the Lions. Puka Nacua, Matt Stafford, they both had good games against the Lions last week. They just couldn't turn those field goals into touchdowns. I think Baker Mayfield does it. Give me the Buccaneers to upset 24-23. Same score as last week. Bucs get it done. Baker Mayfield gets it done. This run defense gets it done for the Bucs, and then moving on to the NFC Championship.
I like that take.
I like the take. It was well reasoned. Actually, good reasoning. I appreciate
Look at this
that.
guy.
Good analysis.
Thank you.
Ball nowhere.
Even though
knowledge.
Even though he thought, a running back who wasn't on the team is still there. It doesn't matter. Anyway, final game of the weekend. Kamil.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City
Yeah,
Chiefs
what's up?
are heading to your house. to
Yeah.
Orchard Park, the Buffalo
Yes,
Bills.
they are.
We were
For
here
the first
2 years
time in
ago.
like 6 games.
We were here 2 years ago discussing Packers at Niners, or Niners at Packers, and Bills at Chiefs, and here we are 2 years later discussing the same thing. This is going to be a fun one. Probably the most anticipated game of the weekend. We don't really need to say much to set this up. It's Mahomes and Allen. It's, for all the championship marbles, I guess. And the Chiefs are finally coming to the Bills' house. They've never done that in the playoffs before. That win, I think in week 12 or 13, really set the Bills up for this scenario. And, I think everyone across the media has said this for this week, but there's no player in the NFL that has more pressure on them right now than Josh Allen. He's got everything he needs with the Chiefs coming into his house to prove it. This is the time for the Bills, if they want to make a statement and make a Super Bowl run, to do it. And I think they do it. I like this Bills defense, and more than anything, I like what Josh Allen's doing. He didn't turn over the football last week against the Steelers. He played virtually a perfect game, I thought. Used his legs on a really key run to set up a 21-0 lead for the Bills. I expect him to use his legs here. Expect it to be a lot like the game we saw earlier this season. And so I think the Bills get it done. I'll say 24-21, Bills win and head to the AFC Championship, where they're going to beat the Ravens.
Can I just say, I just really hate your infatuation with the Bills. It's gotten really insane. Kamil, we were just don't have that face. We were just talking about this. We were just talking about this 2 minutes ago before we came on here. Sorry, I'm just taking a complete detour here. It's actually so frustrating to see someone absolutely hop on and ride another team so much. Graeme,
I'm confident, though.
no.
You said you'd be happy if the Bills beat the Steelers. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
2 weeks ago.
No.
Yeah, you did.
Shh.
You
Graeme,
can't walk this back.
No, Graeme, before the playoffs started.
I would have said way more.
Yeah, we can. You cuss. You cussed last year too.
I got in trouble for it.
No, you didn't. No one said anything.
Producer sounds too.
Graeme, before the playoffs started and leading up to week 18, Arjun said, "I'd almost rather have the Steelers lose so the Bills make it because they deserve it more than us."
That's crazy.
He hopped off his own team, his hometown team, because he loves the Bills so much. It's
not
ridiculous.
true.
It's ridiculous.
so
It's
bad.
ridiculous how someone can be so tied to their takes. How someone can be so eager to prove that they're right that they just blindly follow this
Bad
faith.
luck. It's bad
I appreciate when Kamil does it because Kamil does it out of
So
honesty
why not
because he's a Bills fan. That's what he's got to do. And listen, I don't hate your prediction, but I'm just saying that this is really it's fake. It's what you're doing is fake here. You hated the Bills last year.
Wow.
You hated the Bills coming into this year, and now you're changing your entire tune because you want to get right.
Okay.
You want to be the guy that gets it right.
Rohan,
Guess what? You're not going to be right. You're not going to be right. You're not going to be right, and it's going to hurt when you're not right.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
Okay.
I mean, I'm sorry, the Bills aren't making it, but
Okay, I'd like to. Sorry, not to take away from Chiefs Bills, but I'd like to just defend myself really quick because I'm wild accusations here. Okay,
these
Here
aren't
we go.
wild.
Shut the fuck up. All right.
Watch your language. Watch your language.
First of all,
Our parents watch the show.
First of all, it seems that Rohan does not understand the opinion or the principle that when you're
To
confronted,
hear this argument one more time.
no, when you're confronted with new information, your opinion is allowed to change. I did not realize that I'm supposed to be held to what I said 8 months ago, given new information that completely changes what I didn't know back then. It's almost like I'm supposed to stick to my preseason prediction that the New York Jets are going to make the playoffs, even though Aaron Rodgers got injured 4 snaps in. No one's going to say that. When confronted with new information, I'm going to change my opinion. And what I saw after or right before that Eagles game or after that Eagles game was a team that was ready to make a championship run. And everyone else was doubting them. And I thought Josh Allen, at that point, was going to do more in the playoffs than the Steelers. Anyway. I don't want to...
Well, I just breeze over that point. But listen, Arjun, I'm going to follow you up because I've already followed you up. Listen, I love this Bills team. I liked them last year. I thought they were going to win. I got burned. Actually, no. I liked them 2 years ago. I got burned by them. I liked them last year. I got burned by them. And this year, I was much lower on the Bills, okay? Because like you, my opinions change with new facts. Unlike you, I don't give sloppy toppy to another team outside of the Cardinals or anyone else, but that's besides the
I'm
point.
confident in this team, man.
So, Graham, he's so confident that in his power rankings, he has them at 2,
Yeah.
above the 49ers.
Hell yeah, he does.
That was
Above the
crazy. That was crazy. I
49ers.
can't
No,
lie.
that's based.
Above the San Francisco 49ers.
That's factual.
insane.
It was
But anyways.
crazy. I can't lie.
If you want my opinion, here it is. Week 18, the Bills beat the Dolphins 21-14. They only put up 14 points on offense. Turn around a week. What do the Chiefs do? 26-7, in control the entire game. Never looked like it was really out. It never really looked like it was in reach for Miami. This is the best Chiefs defense that Josh Allen will ever play. Listen, Kamil was telling me right before we came on, Josh Allen has been relatively mistake-free in the playoffs. He locks in. But this is a Chiefs defense that's playing out of their minds right now. Offensive end of the ball, their offense looked a lot better last week. Again, they had the issue they couldn't turn field goals into touchdowns, which hopefully they can fix that issue against the Bills.
Mhm.
We'll see if they're able to do that. I don't know if they
At
are
this
able
point,
to do
the
that.
Chiefs will magically fix their offensive issues.
Well, just like you're expecting Josh Allen to magically fix his turnover issues that have plagued him all year long. Yes, I
Well,
expect.
he did
Well, has he?
against the Steelers.
Okay, it's one game. It's one game against a pretty bad
Yeah,
team.
we have a track record in the playoffs. He has 5 total turnovers in all his playoff
Well, I'm
games.
getting there. I'm talking about track records in playoffs.
Mhm.
You want to talk about track records in playoffs?
Move on
Yeah,
with your
let's-
take, please.
Let's talk about Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. This is a guy who knows how to win the playoffs. He's coming off Super Bowl. He's quite frankly, I hate to be that guy. But
This
he's
is
Josh
dangerous
Allen's.
for a podcast.
but he's-
imitating that guy.
But he's Josh Allen's
Say it.
father. He's Josh Allen's
Josh,
father in the
3-3?
playoffs. In the playoffs, he's Josh Allen's father.
Faced him twice.
When it counts, he's Josh Allen's father. Unfortunately,
McDermott choked
he's
it.
the Bills' father.
That's on Josh Allen.
He's the- okay, sorry.
It's just a casual take.
He's
It's just a casual take.
He's the father of the Buffalo Bills. Patrick Mahomes knows how to win in the playoffs. And aided by his best defense ever, I think he gets it done. Give me the Chiefs, 23-20.
Who has a better record in Arrowhead, Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes?
I think Patrick Mahomes has played more games there.
No, Josh. No, when they faced off in Arrowhead, who has the
I
record?
feel like it's a rhetorical question. I feel like we all know. You wouldn't ask the question if it wasn't Josh Allen.
It's Josh Allen. So this concept, these lies that Rohan are peddling, that Patrick Mahomes is Josh Allen's father.
In the playoffs.
Okay, in the playoffs, they played one game 2020 where Josh Allen and the Bills were babies and were not ready to compete with the Chiefs at that point. And then they faced them again 2021 where McDermott just decides to give them the game because the dude doesn't know how to call anything besides prevent defense, at least up to that point. And from that, Rohan, being the professional analyst that he is, comes to the conclusion that that Patrick Mahomes is Josh Allen's father. Quite frankly, it's a lazy, clickbait-driven take because
I haven't said
You know-
I haven't said anything clickbait in a while. I'm not gonna lie.
That
I feel
was-
like I had to say something.
well, you
I
just
had
said
to say
something.
something.
You can't say in a while if you just said something clickbait a minute ago, right in front of all of us. But listen, to get to the game. The Buffalo Bills are going to win this football game. The last 5 matchups have been in Kansas City. Mahomes is coming on the road to Buffalo. Home field advantage at Buffalo is very good. I believe the Bills are 8-2 at home this year, even through all their struggles. They win at home. They know how to win at home. They don't lose in front of that crowd. And listen, you look at the last 2 matchups since 13 seconds between the Bills and the Chiefs. Josh Allen has played good games. He's kept things mistake free. He's moved the ball against the Chiefs. He knows how to play this Spagnuolo defense. And you look on the other side, Patrick Mahomes. Both of those games, Josh Allen took the lead on a game-winning drive, fourth quarter game-winning drive, and Mahomes had an opportunity. Mr. Clutch had the opportunity to go drive down the field, win the game in front of his home fans. And what happened? 2022, he threw a horrific pick to seal the loss. And this year, he was too busy bitching and moaning about Kadarius Toney being offsides to go and pick up a first down. Listen, here's the deal. The Bills and this defense, Sean McDermott, they understand the noise. They hear clowns like this guy saying, "Oh, Patrick Mahomes is Josh Allen's father," and they've shut them down, and they're going to continue to shut Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs down because Brandon Beane has organized this Bills defense to beat the Chiefs. If you look at the way they constructed the team over the years, it's to compete with the Chiefs. And once you bring them to Buffalo, I just think it's going to be a different story. I think the Bills are going to be in control of this game, much how they're in control of the regular season game. I don't think anything has really changed much with the Chiefs. I think the Bills have only improved in that time since. I think they're going to take this. Josh Allen and Diggs are on a mission. I'm sorry, Mahomes, he's not going to be able to moan his way to victory here. Give me the Bills.
All right, least surprising thing I've ever heard. All right, Graham and Tree, why don't you bring us home with your prediction for this game?
Sweet. So I was thinking, after all this talk about fatherly figures, and that got me thinking. I think I'm going to preface this by saying, Bills win this game. I got you, Kamil. And I have a crazy prediction for this game. I think Patrick Mahomes is in desperate need of a fatherly figure, and he is going to find that fatherly figure in nobody else but leaders of the Bills defense, Damar Hamlin. I think he's going to get 4 pick sixes, and he's going to score for the shitty team offense. So, go Bills. They win by 10.
What a
Scriptwriters having fun.
Damar Hamlin for comeback player of the year.
All right, Tree.
I think I said this earlier, before, right when the playoffs started. I thought that, if the Chiefs are playing at home, I feel like they're more likely to underperform than if they're on the road with their backs against the wall. And I think the Dolphins are a different story. I don't think that the Dolphins were, indicative of like the other teams in the playoffs. I genuinely think Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are going to upset the Bills. And let me just explain why. I think that the Bills defense has some key injuries. Trey White, Matt Milano, and the Steelers are not the Chiefs, right? I think that the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, you saw what they did against the Dolphins. You saw how they limited Tyreek Hill. You saw how much of an angry runner Isaiah Pacheco is. And we didn't get to see a lot of the Steelers' run game happen because we were playing from behind. But if the Chiefs get that run game going, Patrick Mahomes can genuinely take kind of a backseat. I think the defense that he has is amazing. Yes, I'll give the Bills credit for what they did earlier this season, what they did so far. But I genuinely think Josh Allen's turnovers, they're going to show up against the Chiefs. I'm not saying it's going to be, a blowout in any kind of way. And I think this game might be run heavy as well. I think I'm going to take the Chiefs 24-20.
All right.
Good
to end
take.
today's episode, Kamil, we gave Graham the floor. Your team is playing this weekend. Please talk to Bills Mafia here. Tell them
Sure.
what they want.
Also, wait,
Listen.
I just want to interrupt by saying, Kamil, I didn't want to disrespect Josh Allen the way Rohan did. I just want to say
bro. No, I appreciate that. No, you gave a reasoned take.
You know,
Rohan's out here inflaming passions.
I just want to say really quick before Kamil goes, I find it crazy how everyone else can be like, oh, the Bills are going to win. When I say the Bills are going to win, I get attacked for it somehow.
Yeah, it's just we don't like the way you do it.
Yeah, it's just different, Arjun.
Okay, I appreciate the honesty. Kamil, go ahead.
Listen, this Bills defense, you mentioned some of the injuries. Terrell Dotson's going to be back. Teron Johnson looks like he's gearing up as well. Rasul Douglas is going to be back, so hopefully that should be mitigated. And also, let's not compare the Miami offense to the Bills offense. Those guys are running a college offense at this point with Tua. But anyways, Bills, Josh Allen, if you hear this, listen, man, I believed in you this whole time. Go back to 2018 when that name was selected, when they called out your name. I was like, that's our guy. He's going to lead us to Super Bowls. And the disrespect, the trash talk, the bus talk, dealt with it for years. It's morphed into the turnover narrative and all this hatred that he gets because people just can't bear to stand the fact that you are a top 3 quarterback, soon to be proven as the best quarterback in the league. And listen, you understand the moment that this is. This is your chance to finally get past the best team of our generation. people they love to bring the narrative that there are fathers. We can't get past them. They own us. I think it's a load of bunk. I know that you know it's a load of bunk. You've been doubted your entire career, your entire life. You got 2 D1 college scholarships. It's ridiculous. And so, I say listen to the haters. Let them keep fueling you because they don't understand how talented you are. They don't understand how great you are, the drive you have, the ability to win that you have. And I think it's time that all of you, including the defense, you've heard this, you've been listening for the past few years about 13 seconds and how you're chokers and how you melted down, for me included. But I know you've internalized that. I know that's what you think people think of you. But this is the time to go out and prove to them that they are wrong, that I am wrong, that we are all wrong, and that the Buffalo Bills will go out, win this game, beat the Ravens and or Texans, and win the Super Bowl. Because this is the year. This is really the year. I believe it. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, they're on a mission. This is the year. So just go out and do it, man. Go beat these bums. Come on. It's time.
Damn, I'm ready to run through a brick wall right now, and I'm not even on the
Oh,
Bills.
all right, yeah.
See what I'm saying, bro? See what I'm talking about? No one likes this.
Anyway,
Jesus Christ.
on that note,
It's actually tired. Do you get tired?
no, I don't.
I know you don't.
Look, just like Kamil said, as a Bills fan myself, as a member of Bills
Oh my
Mafia,
God.
Yeah.
I can say,
Represent.
we thrive on your hate, Rohan. We feed off of it.
Mhm.
We feed off of it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. Please check out our Instagram for picks. We'll have our end of season awards coming out as well, along with some other end of season content. If we have Bills Niners, Graeme, I hope we can expect you back on the show just for a brief appearance. Just because I think you and Kamil seem very impassioned about your teams. I can't wait to see. Hopefully they go against each other. Hopefully both of them can win this week. First of all, go Bills.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for listening.
There's no way.
My name is Arjun Ryan.
Actually seek help.
I'm Kamil and Danny.
And I'm Ron Patel.
And I'm Graeme. Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you next week in the conference championship on the turf. Go Bills.
Woo!
No.
This is not real.